program. If the fee is calculated this way, not only are you paying too much, but you're also not holding the company accountable to get you the best results. But if you are able to settle, you'll be getting off rather easy. Debt settlement companies can sometimes get you off the hook for a large percentage of your debt. In many cases, up to 50% will be written off. The settlement will stay on your credit report for as long as the individual accounts are reported, which is typically 7 years from the date that the account was settled. Unlike with bankruptcy, there isn't a separate line on your credit report dedicated to debt settlement, so each account settled will be listed as a charge-off. If a debt has gone into collection, it will be on your report for 7.5 years from the date you fell behind with your creditor. How can you check a debt settlement company's credibility? For starters, make sure that the company is a member of the Association of Settlement Companies, or TASC, a trade association that represents debt settlement firms and outlines standards that they agree to meet. The association has a search tool on its website that allows you to find a registered member in your area. Once you've pinpointed a few viable choices, ask for an initial consultation. You should also be sure that the company has a clean record with the Better Business Bureau, which you can do at bbb.org/US. Do you need a lawyer? Not really. If you're filing bankruptcy, you will likely want to hire an attorney. But for debt settlement, a company is sufficient, or as I said, you can often do the legwork on your own. Here are 4 things you need to know about any debt settlement company. The fee. It should be based on the amount of debt that the company is able to settle for you. If the company charges a percentage of your total debt up front, walk away. The return policy. There should be a money-back guarantee in place of at least 30 days, and if the company doesn't offer a guarantee, find one that does. The timeline. No company can promise an end date, but if you have multiple debts, the first one should be settled within a year. And note, if a company promises a faster return, it may be spinning the truth. Where is your money? Once you send it to the debt settlement company, it should be kept in an FDIC-insured bank account. The FDIC, or Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, insures bank deposits, among other things. If the company asks you to hold on to the money or doesn't keep it in an insured account, the company isn't doing its job. Here's an example of how debt settlement works. You have $35,000 in credit card debt that is settled through a debt settlement company. 40% of that debt, or $14,000, is forgiven, and you pay $21,000 in full up front. The debt settlement company charges you 15% of the amount of debt that's forgiven, or $2,100. So the total paid is $23,100. The total forgiven, $14,000. The total saved, $9,000. And the total damage to your credit score in many cases, about 150 points. Question 2. How do you negotiate with a credit card company? What happens when you settle your debts for less than you owe? I've been seeing this question more with every passing week. You fall behind a bit on a credit card bill, your interest rate soars, your minimum payment rises, and you start falling more and more behind every month. You don't see an end, but you don't want to file bankruptcy either. What can you do? What should you do? Is negotiate. Here are the steps. Prepare your case. Why are you in this situation? You need a clear, legitimate excuse for why you're behind, such as a layoff, divorce, or medical emergency. Be prepared to back up the circumstances with supporting documents. Anything you have to substantiate your story, including proof that you have, for instance, been actively looking for a new job, that will help. Call your creditor directly. In most cases, if you've